Hey guys, it's Rachel. Welcome back. So today I thought I would do a get ready with me and talk to you about products that are sold to you in mini form. Okay, I gotta put my hair back first before we get started. I'm gonna need a new concealer in the very near future, and I'm struggling with whether or not to get a mini size of a very good concealer that I know I like, or a drugstore concealer that I kind of like. My budget is only going to be $50 every 2 weeks, as you know, and that concealer is going to have to come out of part of that budget. So I don't really know what I'm going to want to get. First things first, I'm going to put on my sunscreen, the Shiseido UV 50+++. I heard Stephanie Nicole talk about this a long time ago, and I didn't need any other sunscreen until recently. And then I also saw Dr. Dray here on YouTube, D-R-A-Y, also talk about this. It's a chemical sunscreen. My skin does not tolerate physical sunscreens as well as it does chemical for whatever reason. As you can tell, I have very sensitive acne-prone skin. I kind of feel like people, when they do get ready with me, I don't really see a whole lot of the sunscreen. I think on Get Ready With Me's. I think that people do that to save time. I don't want to show that every single day. But my opinion on that is, if I am going to be watching a Get Ready With Me, if I see that person putting on their sunscreen, whether I'm getting ready with that person or not, if all the people that I'm watching are putting sunscreen on their face, I am more likely to remember to put sunscreen on my face. I've been really good about it lately, but, ooh, in the eyelash. But when I was a youngin' and I was watching these videos, I was not as diligent as I am these days, now that I'm old and older, I should say. Somebody will tell me I'm not that old. So I'm going to show you putting sunscreen on my face. I think it'd be beneficial to you if you saw me putting sunscreen on my own face. I put sunscreen on anytime, every day. Who am I kidding? Skin cancer runs through my family like water. Everybody has skin cancer. This really has like a matte feel to it when you're done. You know, some sunscreens sticky and gooey and don't go well under makeup. This one's not one of those. It does a really nice job. As I was saying, minis. Really love the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, but it's like $29 for full size, and it's, what, $12 for small size? For small size? I sound like Kevin on The Office. I could get stuff at the drugstore for cheaper, for a better bang for my buck. Coming up with this idea, I thought I was going to be doing an entire video just on minis and my thoughts on minis. And I think my original idea was, why don't they just make everything mini? If they would just make everything mini, I'd be so happy. And I want to try before I buy, basically. Trying to get all of that. If you hear planes in the background, I apologize. We live right under the path of an Air Force base. It's constant. It's all the time. If I want to get anything done around here, honestly, I don't hear them anymore. You learn to get over it. You don't even notice them anymore unless you're trying to film a YouTube video, and then they're always in the way. So if I ever miss them, miss their sounds, I will apologize to you, because sometimes if it's really, really close, I'll stop talking, but I'm halfway through my sentence and then I finally hear it approaching because I just don't recognize it anymore, and then I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. So this Too Faced Born This Way foundation is, I don't know if you can see it in the viewfinder. It's really yellow. Like, the skin on my chest, unlike the rest of my body, doesn't take to tanning or anything like that. So matching my face to my chest or my neck is really hard to do when my arms, my shoulders, the rest of my body is like, it matches perfectly, but my chest just doesn't match the rest of me. However, this is the best one I've got for filming since it's full coverage. And my powder will balance that out, I think. When I'm talking about mini sizes for makeup, I seem to have not gotten that part of my face. Hang on. I missed this spot, which, do I always miss a spot? Don't know. Foundation. I was thinking the other day, I have a lot of foundations, and like this one that is too yellow, man, if I could have like had a mini size of that to take home, I would have bought it, and I could have tried it out. And then I could have figured out that it was the wrong color or it was the wrong finish. I'm not talking about the kind you get at Sephora that they let you take home, because that's like, what, a day's worth, 2 days worth? I need to use it up for a little while longer before I decide that is not good enough. But I don't want to waste all of that money that I have on makeup for a full size. Is it really worth the money? That's what I was getting myself into. And I thought, why don't they just make everything mini? That would be so great. So you could try before you buy. Tarte Shape Tape that I bought, I don't even know. That was 2 moves ago, which my husband's in the military, so we move a lot. The shade match is going to be terrible. I'm almost to the end of this, and I'm trying to pan it. I can't seem to do my makeup and talk. It's like impossible. Just on my acne that I feel really needs covering. So I did some research. I looked up several videos that are about miniature products, and several people have some good ones. I think Kelly Gooch has one that I saw the other day. I'll link her video down below for you, that's got like miniatures worth their money, and she breaks down the cost of actual minis that are a better value than their full-size counterparts, because I wanted to do a full video on it, and I didn't want to not credit somebody who'd already done a full video on the same idea. But that wasn't really my original plan. I originally wanted to just do a video on my thoughts on miniatures, things like that. And then I was looking into it, and I did my own math, and it comes to find out that it's not really worth your money. Except the ones that I think Kelly herself ended up doing the math for. Those are better deals. But for the most part, miniatures, if you're going to do that, it's not too bad. I mean, on camera, I think this looks fine. It's whatever. I hate when you're messing with your eye makeup and then your nose starts to run. Does anybody else have that problem? Is it just me? So here are my thoughts. Am I going to get the small concealer or not? I'm going to have to do the math. Anytime you're in the store and you see all of those cute little mini things that they sell by the register at Ulta and Sephora, are you tempted to buy them like I am without doing any of the actual legwork to figure out if it's a good enough deal? Because I do that all the time. I never really figure out if it's a good deal or not. Except I did that today. I did that. I looked it up. I was a little bit shocked at what I found. For example, hang on. Basically, out of all the things that I looked up, the only thing that I could find that was a better deal mini than it was a full size would be the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And I don't like that mascara. It's flaky, it's dry. I don't like it. I don't buy it, I don't use it. And anytime I get that in one of my Too Faced packages, I give it away. Yeah, that's a good one. A really bad one that I looked up, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. For 0.22 ounces, guys, that sells for $30. Hang on, I got something in my eye. But for 0.05 ounces, that's $13. So the difference, and my math may be wrong. Correct me if you think I am wrong about this. You're getting 4.4 times the product from the small one to the larger one. So by my calculations and by my math, if you're going to bank on evenness, you would be paying like $6.80 for that mini size, and they're selling it for $13 at Sephora, at least when I was looking it up. It should be less than $7, and it's $13. So that's the biggest markup that I saw. The Benefit Gimme Brow, it comes out pretty even. You're paying for half, and you're getting half. The Hoola bronzer from Benefit, these are just popular ones I was looking up. It's almost half, but you're paying $1 more than you should. Honestly, the Too Faced Ethereal Setting Powder, Born This Way Setting Powder, whoa. The full size at $33 is like 0.56 ounces, and the mini size 0.05 ounces, and it was $15. It should be less than $3 if based on dividing it up evenly. I mean, holy cow. Not going to get that. I'm going to have to do my research before I decide on something. Overall, with mini-sized products, if you're trying to save money like I am, you're going to get taken for a ride. So my revolution of just make everything miniature won't really work because they will jack the prices up and make money that way, which, oh goodness, excuse me, which they are already doing to you. Now, that being said, be aware of, if you know that you're overpaying for this tiny, cute, adorable little product, then hey, that's your choice. But if you're buying many things because you think you're getting a good deal on it, probably not. So what are some products that I will pay for, knowing that the full-size product is all around a better go of it? Like, I don't really care about these eyebrows today. I'm not going anywhere. I know that I would get a better deal if I got the full size, but I want the mini anyway. Because at the time that I buy it, it's less money, which is what I think a lot of people are looking at when it comes to makeup is, what can I afford right now? Not what can I afford in the long run? How much use am I going to get out of it? It's makeup. What I've already put on my face, foundation, I think you would want a mini and a foundation just to try it out. And then if you really, really liked it, it's a consumable. So if you really liked it once you got done with it, I think you could invest in that and get the bigger size if you could afford it. If it's something that is like your holy grail, I don't think you need to get a mini after you've tried it, because you're going to be using it over and over and over again. Same with powders, setting powders. Hang on, let me get my creases out. With setting powders, like, I don't use high-end setting powder anyway. Whatever I used to do my face with is drugstore. This is going to be all choppy because I've never talked through one of these before. Brow products, minis aren't worth it. Again, a consumable. How fast do you fly through brow products? I personally have way too many. Why I'm doing this no bite year. I wouldn't buy a mini in a brow product. I'm gonna use that on a daily basis. Unless it was a pomade. I've tried Anastasia dip brows. I've bought several of those and they've gone like gloopy on me before I can even finish it. I've never really panned one. No, really. I've never panned one. I bought one and then I didn't feel like it was a really good shade match for me, I think. And I'd had it for a while. It was a while. And so I threw it out. And then why did I rebuy it? I don't know. So I have one. It's a little too dark for me, and it's in their lightest shade. I love the formula, but the shade match just sucks. So I would buy that. I can see myself buying that. I know what is it? I have it here. It's not what I used today, but the Ka-Brow by Benefit in the shade 2, pretty good match for me. I don't need something that huge. So I would buy that, knowing that it wasn't a good deal. Yeah, eyeshadow. Now that I'm doing my eyeshadow. No. Eyeshadow palettes, like, you use those on a daily basis. You use them so much, and it's a collector's eye. Like, the pans have to be so big for you to get your brushes in there. Yeah. See, I say that, and then things like those Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes that are really small, I think those are an excellent idea. You're not wasting space. The color stories are cohesive. It's considered a mini, but like, I don't consider it a mini. It's just small. It's not actual full-size version products. What am I saying? Yes, it is. I don't know what I'm talking about. Having a hard time actually doing this and talking. I'm trying to focus. It's not working out. Oh, I'm sorry. I think that highlighters are a really good idea to put into a mini. I like Becca's highlighters a lot, and I refuse to buy full size. I wanted vanilla quartz for a really long time, and I waited until this Christmas when I had a gift card to buy it because Sephora had it in a mini size. I have three. I have 3 Becca highlighters in minis, and I've actually hit pan on Moonstone. If I had bought that in the large size, I don't think I would have used it up. Maybe. But since I have so many highlighters, see, I don't know why they have to be so big. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a good idea. I think mascara in a mini form is a good idea. Because if you're like me, I have really sensitive eyes in the first place. Just allergies all around when it comes to things. So I've been burned by mascara before. Sometimes I will try a new mascara, and for whatever reason, it burns my eyes. I wake up, it looks like I've got pink eye. I don't. But it's just gross. Ugh. I throw away my mascara every 3 months like it says to. And I'm a nerd like that just because my eyes have, I don't take that lightly. I don't share mascara, and I throw it out when it says throw it out. So buying a huge tube of it it doesn't make sense to me when I'm going to spend that much money on high-end mascara. Drugstore mascaras, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. So that's why I feel like even if I'm paying more for the mini over time, but I'm using it the same length of time as I would a regular one anyway, if that makes sense. Highlighter, not like that. I also don't tend to have a bazillion mascaras open at the same time. I usually only have one or two. So it's no point in keeping them for the long term. Oh, no. Also, lip products. I don't use enough of a lip product up for a full size to be worth it. Same thing with a mascara. After a while, I throw lip products away. That's something that, like a highlighter, at least I tend to collect colors. And so it's going to take me a really long time to use up a lip product. So if it's in a mini, I'm going to get my money's worth because I'm not going to be using that much of it. You know what I mean? This is another thing I'm going to need more of really soon. This is almost done. This is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. Shout out Jam Beauty 89 for recommending this to me. It's almost dry. But I can't talk while I'm doing this, so hang on, I'll be right back. Bottom lash line. I'm not talking. This is going nowhere. Got something in my eye again. As told, I have very sensitive eyes, and anything that gets in there, they're like, no, don't do it. Bronzer. Do I think bronzer needs to be in a mini form? Personally, I think that has this hair been like this the whole time? Is that going to bother you guys? Like, if it's not perfect? Well, guess what? It's not. I think that's a personal choice. If you're a collector of bronzers, like I am of highlighters, and you want them all to be super different and they all work for you and they all have different tones and colors and things like that. Sure, I think if you have more than one that you really, really love, go for it. I just use the same one, this Chocolate Soleil by Too Faced, and I actually have a mini of this in my drawer. I got it when I ordered what did I order? I don't even remember which one it was. I got the mini size and I'm like, I really like this bronzer, but I don't need it. I already have one. It's going to last me for the rest of my life. So there's no point in this. And that's just me. Maybe you do. I don't know. Blush. I don't need this in a large size either. I think that there's a difference with the bronzers and the blushes that whatever brush you're using, the pan has to be big enough to fit the brush. So that's something to consider. I think blushes is also something personal for you that you have to keep into account. If you like collecting blushes, maybe minis are worth it for you, although price-wise, you're paying more over time. If it's just something that you have and you like a few colors, then, get the mini. I had a mini for a while, back when something from Tarte I got for a birthday gift to Sephora, and I loved that thing. It was a round. It's a blush, Rachel. It didn't matter that my brush was bigger. It worked great. And then it shattered because I dropped it. And I was sad. I really liked that shade. It was one of their Amazonian clay blushes. I would buy mini blushes, mini bronzers, mini highlighters. I would buy mini mascara. All that stuff, even though you're not getting the bang for your buck, I'd buy mini. So back to my original question, which is I need another concealer here pretty soon. Am I going to get a mini of that or not? Now here's the rub. I only have $50 every 2 weeks to spend. So what am I going to do? Mini highlighter, by the way. This is NARS. I love this. What is it? Hot Sand? No. I'm not going to buy a mini concealer. But I'm not going to buy a high-end one either. this like wafting away from me. That's another reason. I have really dark circles, if you can't tell. Like really dark circles. And for a while there, which is why I bought the Shape Tape in the first place, is that I wanted to conceal them fully. Like I didn't want them showing at all. And now I'm at the time in my life where I'm just like, well, you know what? I don't really care anymore. If I look tired, I look tired. And if you tell me I look tired, you're mean. It's just the way it's gonna have to be. I'll get a drugstore concealer, my point. I kind of liked the Makeup Revolution concealer that I had for a while. It's been a long time and I kept running out of it. I was using it every day. And that's another thing, is that it was kind of small. It was $7, but it wasn't a lot of concealer. So I'll find one from the drugstore. If you know a good one from the drugstore that you really like, that's not too drying, let me know. I like Maybelline Fit Me a lot, but the last few times I've gotten it, I stopped using it because it burned my skin. I don't know if there's alcohol in that or what, but leave me a recommendation if you have one. I have to curl my lashes, by the way. Sorry if that bothers you guys to see this. My lashes grow they're really long, but they just grow straight down. So, another mini. Look at that, isn't it so tiny? I'm not really a fan of this mascara, but I am glad that I did not buy a full size of it and then figure out I didn't like it. Because that's what I'm talking about. That would have been a waste. I would buy mini mascaras. When it comes time for me to need a mascara, what are my thoughts? Well, this is only January. Maybe? I think it's going to depend. And I think a lot of my makeup repurchases are going to depend on what else do I have to buy or want to buy. I say have to. It's really want. Sorry. I know that train of thought. What was I saying? This is why I can't get ready and talk at the same time. Making noise. It's gonna depend on what else I'm buying at that time. I have a drugstore mascara that I love, the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I already know I love that. So, we'll see. We will see. Lip products, never gonna run out of that. Minis are, I think, a good idea though. Can't talk and do that at the same time, that's for sure. Is anybody else really bad about staying inside the lines when it comes to your lips? Because I am. Okay. So, final thought. No, in the back of my head, in the back of my mind, I knew that I'm probably paying more than I should for this tiny little product. But, I'm going to buy it anyway. So, when it comes time for me to replace what I need, am I going to buy a mini to save the money on my budget? Or am I going to buy a full size? Or am I going to buy a drugstore? What's going to happen? I'm not sure. Probably drugstore at this moment. That might change. And I will let you know if it does change, but that might change. I'm not exactly sure. I don't feel like I'm getting a deal when I buy a mini. The point when I buy one is I'm only looking X amount from one paycheck to the next. What can I afford? Can I afford this right now? Well, I didn't save up for it. So I'm going to buy the mini because I can afford the mini. And if it's going to be a consumable, it's like a concealer that I'm going to have to buy over and over and over, I'm not going to buy a mini of that. That's me throwing that money that I do have down the drain. Something like a mascara, it's not a bad travel-sized product because it expires so quickly that I think it's worth if you like the product the best. Now, I have drugstore versions of mascara I love just as much as high-end, so why not use those? Everything else that I looked at, you're paying more than you should. I will have to think about it before we get to that point. I really will. Well, once again, I'll tell you, go check out Kelly's video. I want to buy one of those. What's the best one to get? What are your thoughts on mini and travel size products? Do you buy them? Why do you buy them? Do you think they're a good deal? Do you not think they're a good deal? Let me know down below because I would really like to know what other people think about this. So my face is done, guys, and I think I've talked about this long enough. If you liked this video or you just like me, like the actual video. Subscribe before you leave, and I'll catch you later.